Dr. Leah, a woman in her late 30s, writes, "Suddenly, when I orgasm, I feel nauseous afterwards. This happens with both partner and solo sex. What is making me feel sick?"
Well, there's a couple different possibilities. One would be vasovagal syncope, which is basically a fancy term for feeling faint and potentially passing out. This can occur when your partner penetrates you particularly hard and it hits your cervix. This happens even more if your partner is a little more well endowed. The cervix is full of nerve endings, and this vasovagal response can occur when that nerve is stimulated. What happens is this lowers your heart rate, this lowers your blood pressure, and this in turn leads to fainting. I actually had a friend faint during intercourse, and I happened to be sleeping in the guest bedroom. Her boyfriend, ran out in a towel, completely panicked, banging on the door. I guess he thought she died of too great of sex. I don't know. But it was completely fine. It was just a response. I got her to wake back up. A little embarrassing moment for all, but it's not completely out of the ordinary. So it just sounds like you have a lesser version of this, which could bring about nausea, pale skin, lightheadedness, tunnel vision, or even blurred vision, kind of that cold, clammy sweat, just basically feeling sick. It's important to know that your cervix also changes throughout your cycle. So when you're closer to your period, it's going to drop a little bit lower, which means you might be more susceptible to having all these symptoms during penetration. However, you did say this also happens when you're solo, so that could be a couple of other things. So are you someone that doesn't drink enough water? Dehydration might be to blame there. Dehydration could cause a bunch of health problems. Heat injury, urinary problems, kidney problems, seizures, even shock. And interestingly enough, feeling sick after sex is another bad side effect of dehydration. Another thing you really need to be aware of, if your nausea through sex is accompanied by pain, then that could be a sign of a more serious condition like pelvic inflammatory disorder, maybe even a UTI, endometriosis, which is the growth of that endometrial tissue outside of the uterus. And this affects 10% of the population. So it's not rare, but you definitely want to see your doctor if your pain is associated with the sick feeling. If there is no pain, then it's probably nothing to worry about.